me. I killed him. You think I'm responsible, and you're probably right.
Right now, if you told me day follows night, I'd have to go and check with someone else.
Jessica. You look as though you've heard a ghost.
Do you want to know who your real father is? He wants to meet you.
You're on a losing streak, Jilly.
Then this time it really will be a fight to the death, won't it? I don't think she should be left alone. Yes, I'm going to bring her back to Eden with me. Okay, darling, I'll see you shortly. Jilly, we can go.
I have to be here.
Jilly.
There are things to be done. Arrangements.
Everything's been taken care of. And if you stay here, you'll only have to deal with the press. You don't want that.
Why did he do it? If he was unhappy or in trouble, I'd have known.
I'll pack some things and then we can leave.
Good morning. Last night, a Mr. Philip Stewart made use of your courier service to send a package to Miss Stephanie Harper. Could you confirm that that package was delivered, please? Last night? Thank you.
Jilly, I'm terribly sorry.
It's all right, Dan. I just don't want to be alone right now.
What needs to be done?
Well, there isn't much in the way of family. I've been trying to locate Jessica.
Hmm?
Philip's favorite niece.
Yes, he was almost like a father to her. I haven't been able to get hold of her yet, but I've spoken to Philip's partner. He'd be grateful if we'd make the funeral arrangements.
I see. Does that sound all right to you, Jilly?
Yes, thank you.
He's a happy man. He was happy with me. This time it was going to work.
There must have been something.
Such as?
I don't know.
Oh, sorry. When I got out of prison, all I wanted was an even break. No favors, just a clean slate. Philip was a bonus I didn't deserve. It's not fair to be given something like that and then have it taken away.
What is it, Roberts?
The telephone, madam.
I'm not accepting calls.
Mrs. McMaster, madam?
Yes, all right, thank you. God, I hope Bill hasn't heard the news yet. He'll have a relapse.
Yes, I know Philip was a friend.
No, it's not Philip. It's Harper's. I was thrown off the board yesterday.
That's impossible.
It's a fact. You know, I underestimated Jake Sanders. He's quite an artist. He used my own son to stab me in the back.
Oh, Steph, I'm sorry.
Maybe he did me a favor. I won't be long. No, Rena. Bill mustn't be told anything. Well, at least until he's well enough, I'll never forgive myself. Yes, I know. No, that's okay. I understand.
I didn't, Stephanie! I killed him! You think I'm responsible and you're probably right!
Look, I'm sorry, Rena. I'll have to call you back.
Oh, God, Stephanie, I can't bear it!
Jilly, it's all right.
That must have been me. I hurt everyone who comes close to me.
Look, you better come with me to the bathroom and we'll do something about that hand.
I'm sorry, Steph. I'm sorry.
I know you didn't vote against your mother for my sake, but, thanks anyway.
I assume you now want my resignation.
No, I don't. I didn't even want to throw your mother out. She gave me no choice.
What makes you think I want to stay on?
You got a better offer. Bill Masters not going to be coming back. I'm still going to need a general manager.
You offering me the job? A reward for selling my mother down the river?
No. No, you're not quite ready for the job yet. But you could be.
You don't need me at Harper's, Jake. You just want to prove something to my mother. You really got it all, didn't you? Even her son.
Is that what being Stephanie Harper's son's done to you? You feel that if you weren't who you are, nobody would bother with you, eh? Think about it, Dennis.
I'm not sure I know what your game is anymore.
You don't know, Anton. Well, you're my lawyer. You tell me.
Face the fact. Whatever you actually want from Stephanie, you're not going to get it. But you've got her company. Do you really need her as well?
You just think I'm obsessed. And if I am, well, I won't stop trying, will I?
But that doesn't explain your apparent inability to let go of Jilly Stewart. Or is that another obsession?
In a way. You see, Anton, it's like any poisonous snake. You're quite safe while you're holding it the right way. Let go, and you're dead.
Stephanie, this is Philip Stewart. This would be better said to you in person, but I'm afraid that won't be possible. So I'm sending you this to warn you. I can't live with what Jilly has done to me. And I'm certain she intends to destroy you.
Jake doesn't waste any time. The daily report from Harper's hasn't arrived. And it won't.
I've just spoken to Philip's doctor, and he maintains Philip was in perfect health. His partners say the practice was completely successful. Even if he did have any personal financial difficulties, there were resources he could have drawn on. And they weren't touched.
In other words, he had no reason to kill himself.
Darling, there was only one wild card in Philip's life. Jilly.
All right, supposing she was cheating on him. Do you really think that's enough to drive a man to suicide?
The way he loved her? Yes.
I don't believe Jilly ever loved me. She played on my weaknesses and remarried me because I was of use to her. She's been having an affair behind my back with Jake Saunders.
Oh, come on, Steph. You know yourself you've begun to suspect her.
Dan, my own son voted me out of my company. My other son doesn't want to know me. My daughter thinks I'm responsible for ruining her life. Even you backed off a little. Oh, darling, I need my family. I want us to be united. And that includes Jilly.
You need your family because you've lost Harper Mining.
That is not fair.
But what if it was Jilly that helped you lose it?
When you've cleared away the smoke screen, you'll find that it was Jilly's shares that let Jake into Harper's. She wants it all, Stephanie. She wants you finished. How far she's prepared to go, I don't know, but God help me, I suspect she may have been responsible for the accident that nearly killed you and Dan. The sickest part of the whole business is that even now, I still love her. I still want her.
Pathetic, Philip.
I just want to say goodbye. Bye, darling.
Have a drink, sir?
No, thanks.
Bill wasn't well enough to attend. He sent his love and sympathy.
Thank him for me.
Don't you think you've had enough?
Drawing lines on the Scotch bottle, are we?
Can we talk, please?
Why? So you can tell me the romantic story of how I came to have an older brother, new heir to the Harper fortune? The news is a little belated, Mother. Ask Sarah.
I didn't know about Tom. I didn't deliberately keep the information from you.
Is that it?
Yes, that's it. That's the truth.
Slight problem, Mum. Right now, if you told me day follows night, I'd have to go and check with someone else.
Dennis, when you had me thrown out of the company, you made a business decision for an emotional reason, and that was very silly. Darling, I want the family to be together.
The whole family?
This is not the time. Hello, Angela. I'm so glad you came.
Thank you. Sarah asked me. Actually, I have to get back to the bistro.
Must you?
I should, really.
I'll see you out.
Okay.
Thank you for supporting me in the boardroom.
I only did what Bill would have done.
Tom, do one thing for me. Don't stop thinking of him as your father.
Thank you, Roberts. I do know the way. On behalf of the company, I'd like to express my deepest sympathy, Mrs. Stewart.
Thank you.
Sorry I couldn't make the funeral.
I didn't realize you knew Philip.
Our paths crossed once or twice.
I can't pretend that you're welcome. I expect Jilly appreciates it.
Dr. Marshall, taking Harper's was business. Nothing personal.
You misunderstand me, Mr. Saunders. despise your methods. I am, in fact, grateful for your takeover. And what I feel about you is totally personal. Excuse me.
In that case, I hope our paths cross once or twice.
Lousy party.
That's a bit callous.
I think Philip would have agreed with me.
Why don't you just leave?
Would that make it easier on you?
No.
Maybe it would in the long run.
We can't change things, Tom.
That I'm your half-brother. That I still love you even knowing that.
Please.
When Stephanie screws up a family, she doesn't mess around, does she?
Worthy of an Oscar, Mrs. Stewart.
What are you doing here?
I don't trust Stephanie. It's not like her to give up that easily. I'm keeping her on the defensive.
And putting me under pressure.
Suspicious.
Meet me back at the flat.
Grief gives you quite an appetite, doesn't it?
Amal.
I've chosen a bad time to call.
No, not at all. I need a friend.
Then I'm glad I have come. I understand you were ambushed at Harper's. How did Jake Saunders manage it?
Dennis voted against me.
The son betrays the mother.
It was a stupid impulse. He's angry about Tom.
That is no excuse. A son should fight for you, not against you. And Tom, was he for you?
He supported me. I haven't told him anything about you. Do you want him to know that you're his father?
Give me time to consider it, Stephanie. I must do what is best for him. And for me.
Excuse me for interrupting, Mrs. Marshall.
Tom, this is Sheikh Amal. Your Highness, this is Tom McMaster. He's an executive at Harper's.
I'm pleased to meet you, Tom. Some of my business interests here are connected with Harper's.
I'm sure we'll enjoy doing business, Your Highness.
What did you want, Tom?
Dr. Marshall asked me to tell you that some of the guests are ready to leave.
Thank you. Will you join us?
At such a time, I won't intrude. Please give my regards to Dan.
Yes, I will. Thank you for being here.
So, what did he do with Philip's little cassette?
He took it with him.
Oh, very nice. Well, you've got what you want, and I've got what I want.
So?
Time to shake hands and walk away.
If the job was finished.
What do you want from Stephanie? Blood? Well, tell me.
Stephanie's not going to give up this easily. She still has a personal fortune big enough to launch a counterattack.
Hold on. Bill, her right-hand man's in convalescence. Her son sold her out. The state of her family makes Wuthering Heights look like a bloody tea party.
Even so, there is a part of her that's capable of anything when it comes to revenge.
Aren't we all?
And she has rich and powerful friends. Amal would help her if she asked. They met in the garden this morning.
I knew that.
I'm not in a position to try distracting His Royal Highness at the moment. Philip's death does have its disadvantages.
My God, it's one thing to cheat on your husband. It's quite another to spit on his grave.
You bastard.
That's how I like my widows. Traditional black. Oh. Funerals make you tense.
So loosen me up.
Someone there?
I don't believe Julie ever loved me. She played on my weaknesses and remarried me because I was of use to her. She's been having an affair behind my back with Jake Saunders. When you've cleared away the whole smoke screen, you'll find that it was Julie's shares that led Jake into harm.
Jessica.
She wants it all.
You look as though you've heard a ghost.
She wants you.
Where did you get that?
A farewell gift from Uncle Philip.
I don't know, but
How much do you want?
So, the original didn't get to Stephanie Harper.
What?
Well, if it had, you wouldn't be offering money for this one. Uncle Philip might have been a fool for you for a long time, but in the end, he took out some insurance. Me.
How much? I'll write you a check.
I think I'll stay here for a while. We'll make a good team. The sorrowing niece and the grieving widow. How was the funeral? I bet you cried.
Just tell me what you want.
All I can get. I loved Uncle Philip, and I saw the dance you led him.
You did everything you could to poison things between him and me.
Oh, come on, Jilly, be honest. There isn't a hospital in the country that can compete with your bed count. Who have you been rumpling the sheets with today? The funeral director?
Get out!
Straight to Stephanie Harper? I think you should take me under your wing. Don't you? For old time's sake. Haven't forgotten about old times, have you? They're very important to me. But then, how could I forget?
You didn't have to come. I'm not your boss anymore.
I was curious. What could you possibly have to say to me?
Actually, I think there's rather a lot to be said between us. But that's not why I called you here. Tom, you know half the truth. I think it's only fair you learnt the rest of it. Do you want to know who your real father is? He wants to meet you, if you want it.
How are you?
Life goes on. Word is you're doing a good job here.
Thanks. It's good to see you.
I'm here on business.
Of course.
I'm doing a budget assessment and I need some information concerning...
Look, I'm flat out right now, but I don't mind working after hours.
Dennis, shouldn't you be at Harper's shining Jake Saunders' boots?
Hello, Dennis.
Jessica! My golly, you've grown up so much.
It happens.
I'm sorry about your uncle.
Yes, I couldn't make it back here in time for the funeral.
How long are you here?
I'm not sure. Jilly insists that I stay with her, so who knows?
Perhaps I can show you around.
Great.
He's not a man to be trusted, Jessica. Ask his mother.
Sharpen your claws on someone else, Jilly. You're pulling threads in the suit. See you later, Jessica.
Miss Stewart would like to see some clothes. Any alterations will be done immediately and the clothes will be ready tomorrow. Do you think you can remember all that, or shall I write it down for you?
Tara's motto, The customer is always right.
Friend of yours?
Mind your own business.
New outfits from Tara's. This is really generous of you.
Don't push your luck, Jessica.
Why did you come back here?
Why did you leave?
You're a big boy now. Did you like him?
We talked. Yes, I like him. He's very impressive. I think I liked him most because he made no claims and no offers. Were you in love with him?
I thought I was. But, Tom, it's very unwise to start wishing the past had been different.
I came back to say I'm sorry for the way I've treated you.
You're trying to make me feel worse than I do already.
I'm telling you that I don't blame you anymore.
When you were born, they let me hold you for a moment. You looked just like an old man, all wrinkled. And those serious little blue eyes gazing up at me.
My eyes are brown.
You're clutching at straws, Tom. There's no point. We both have to come to terms with it.
Sass, I know now it's not the truth. Stephanie's not my mother.
But are you saying she's been lying?
No, but I'm not your brother. I know it.
Tom, you've got no proof.
I'll get proof. Sarah, it's the only chance we have.
Mum, what are you doing here?
Mr. Sanders requested my presence.
Why didn't you tell him what to do with himself? You shouldn't be sitting out here like this.
What should I be doing? Sitting at home, sulking? Jake has my company, and he has my son. I'm intrigued to know what else he wants from me.
He doesn't own me.
Good.
I don't want us to be enemies. Your time at Harper's is over now. It's my turn.
I'm glad to hear it. Be a winner, my darling. You are so like your grandfather.
Certainly. Miss Harper, Mr. Sanders will see you now.
Thank you, Hilary.
Miss Harper, I'm awfully sorry.
It's all right. I'd like to have a family dinner tonight. Will you be there? Please?
Take a seat. I won't be long. You weren't waiting long, were you?
20 minutes.
Phones. You know how it is. Coffee?
Nothing, thank you.
All right, then. I'll get straight to the point. I want to make you an offer. An equal share in the company. 50-50.
In return for what? Your ego is incredible.
You'd be honest with yourself for the first time in your life.
You know, I can't make you out. I have studied you back to front, Jake Sanders. You've never let business get this personal. Why am I so important to you?
Anton thinks I'm obsessed with you.
Really?
Runs in the family. I had a brother once who became obsessed with a woman. Did him no good at all.
That must run in the family, too.
You'd be crazy to refuse. I was being generous.
If turning you down sours your victory, I couldn't be more pleased.
If you leave now, it'll be for the last time.
Yes.
It's fabulous. You should have gone for something with a lower neckline. It would have suited you. I guess I'm just old-fashioned. I remember even when we were teenagers, you used always to wear high necklines. Do you like what you're doing here, Sarah?
I love it. When I play the piano, it's for the fun of it.
Good for you.
It's great having you here, Jess. I wish we'd known each other better.
Best friends, right? Well, I'll see what Jilly thinks. She's been so kind.
I didn't see you at Philip's funeral, Cassie.
I hardly knew him.
Oh, I thought you two were pen pals. I found this going through his papers only this morning. How does it feel to know you were responsible for a man killing himself?
There's only one person responsible, and you damn well know it.
You interfering little bitch.
You're on a losing streak, Jilly.
I'm sorry, Stephanie.
What for? Being human?
For being here useless when you needed me most at Harper's.
You weren't supposed to know about Harper's. Anyway, I doubt that there's anything either of us could have done. Perhaps it was simply time. Maybe we've had our day, Bill.
There is one thing you've got to face. Jilly has had to have been on Sanders' team.
When I'm ready, I'll deal with Jilly. In the meantime, I have a family to try and get back together. For too long, those children have suffered for being mine.
Oh, I think you're overstating it a little. And I don't believe Sarah or Dennis would wish it any other way.
And Tom?
Give him time. Look, Stephanie, are you really ready to give up the company?
I have no choice, Bill. I've lost.
There is a way of winning Harper's back. It's outrageous, it's expensive, and you could lose everything. But it is possible.
Are you sure I want to hear this?
I've made some notes. But it's up to you, of course.
Babies are born with blue eyes, and they change later. Tom's pinning so much on it. Well, I wish he wouldn't. It won't alter the facts. No, nothing will. I went to see Bill McMaster today. He wants me to fight Jake Sanders. Are you going to? My family is what is important now. In fact, I would like to talk to you all at dinner tonight. Oh, I was going to have dinner with Angela at the bistro. Please, Cecil. Family comes first, eh?
From now on.
I'm sorry, Mr. Sanders, but your terms are unacceptable to us.
But these figures remain essentially unchanged from last year.
Indeed. But the circumstances are very much changed.
You mean to say you're no longer dealing with Stephanie Harper?
She is a friend. If I dealt with you as I did with her, what would friendship be worth? Goodbye, Mr. Sanders.
I'll be in touch.
I hope so.
Jilly, our Middle Eastern friend is proving a little, difficult. I wonder if you could find a way to make him more, friendly.
Absent friends.
I know he's going to be here.
I am. Sorry I'm late.
Oh. Thank you.
Sass? Doctor?
Dennis? Well, now that we're all here, to the future. Whatever it may bring.
I thought it was all behind us.
Speak for yourself. To the future.
Well, Mum, why are we here?
I thought it was time to regroup. I know I've put you all through hell in the last couple of months, and I want to apologize.
Darling, you don't have to. We all understand, no matter what.
Do we?
I thought this was a reconciliation dinner.
Then what? We all go our separate ways and make a mess of our lives in the traditional Harper fashion?
Dennis, it doesn't have to be like that.
No? I thought chaos was bred into us.
Are you trying to start a fight, Dennis?
No, he isn't, but that's precisely why I wanted to apologize. For making life so difficult for all of you. Well, no more.
Has it occurred to you that we prefer it that way?
Yes. And that we all love you, no matter what.
True. But it doesn't change the fact that you brought this current crisis on your own head.
For God's sake, Dennis, your mother is trying to forgive and forget.
And that is precisely where the problem began.
Dennis, if you don't shut up, you're going to get my dinner in your face.
All right, all right. Mum knows what I'm talking about. Don't you?
Jilly.
Dining here. It's a total eccentricity. But Australia is one of the few countries I can be myself. Besides, I have a fondness for Italian food. I'm sorry to miss your father. You'll give him my regards.
Yes, of course, Your Highness.
Well, almost myself.
And does he follow you everywhere?
Not quite. Well, Mrs. Stewart, what are we going to do about your sister?
I'm afraid Stephanie's avoiding me at the moment.
A quarrel?
She suspects I've betrayed her in some way.
And have you?
Are you always so direct?
I try to be.
No, I haven't done anything to Stephanie that I'm ashamed of, and I'd appreciate it if you could convince her of that.
Perhaps. But first, I want to convince her to fight. She must win back her company.
How can she?
I'm not sure, but I know she must. If she surrenders now, it will be a slow death for her. Stephanie has always needed a battle.
You know her very well. All these years she's kept you from me. I wonder why.
Perhaps it was you she was protecting from me.
Pity. Are you in love with her?
Are you always so direct?
I apologize. It's just that men who don't know Stephanie inevitably seem to fall in love with her.
But I know her quite well.
I suppose it would be impertinent of me to ask how well.
And ungentlemanly of me to tell you.
So the Scotsman said, "Die, my dear doctor, die." Why, that'll be the last thing I'll do.
You still with us, Mum?
Sorry.
Darling, something wrong?
Yes. I have a confession to make.
Oh, no, not another one.
Relax, it's not like that. Bill McMaster wants me to try and win back Harper's.
Huh.
Sent in the army.
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to do it. I thought perhaps I would. I was going to tell you all about it and ask you yet again for your support.
What changed your mind?
Just sitting here, the four of us. If I took up Bill's scheme, and it is outrageous, I would be risking everything this family has, not just financially, but emotionally as well, and I won't do it.
I can't pretend it's not a relief.
Well, I think it's a pity.
Oh, you don't even know what this outrageous plan is.
Doesn't matter. I'd support you, whatever it was.
Don't be too sure about that. But thank you. Thank you, all of you. Oh, to hell with Harper mining.
Even if you do find it, I've made copies, and they're somewhere very safe.
Why don't you just take the money and go?
No, no. I won't let you off the hook that easily. You know, it still aches at times.
It's not fair that you blame me, Jessica.
You were supposed to be babysitting me, but you had better things to do, didn't you?
It was a spark from the fireplace. Not my fault.
when my room was full of smoke and I could see the flames. I screamed for you. Aunt Julie will save me, I thought. Aunt Julie won't let me burn. But you were somewhere flat on your back. Was it good? Do you remember if you enjoyed it? Was it worth leaving an 8-year-old on her own for?
I didn't know that would happen. How could I? It was an accident. Anyway, you're making too much of it. You're still a beautiful girl.
And I've never had a boyfriend. Know why? Because I couldn't bear the thought of the expression on his face when he finally saw me undressed. It's not a pretty sight, is it? You've got a lot to make up to me for, Jilly. And you will. You will.
No, I won't tell you which orphanage. I won't have you going stirring up trouble out there just because of some harebrained idea.
Stirring up trouble? What do you think this whole damn mess is? I'm trying to sort it out.
Just leave it alone, Tom. Stephanie's your mother, and that's that.
You've lied to me all these years. Don't you think you owe it to me now to help me find out the truth?
Tom, what are you doing? Look at your father.
He is not my father. That much I do know. I'm sorry. But I intend to find out the truth, no matter how much trouble I have to stir up.
Tom will make a decision about us both in the future. He knows I will accept whatever he wants my obligation to be.
And how are your negotiations going with Sanders?
I am making him chase his tail.
Why? You'll sign in the end. It's always been a good deal for both of us.
Of course. Perhaps I'm buying you a little time, Stephanie.
What for?
A blank check. Buy Sanders out, whatever the cost.
Millions.
You can owe it to me if you won't accept it as a gift.
I can't take this. You know me at least that well.
In that case, I will buy the company for you. You can't stop me.
Amal, this is ridiculous.
But I'll do it. You know I will.
You can't. I won't let you.
Then fight. This company is half your life, so fight for it. And don't tell me it can't be done. I've spoken to Bill McMaster. His plan will work.
Oh, God knows I'm tempted. I'd love to wipe the smile off Sanders' face. But I can't, Amal. I promised my family no more Harper mining.
Then you might as well stop breathing, too. Your family, they demanded this promise from you?
Dan will be happier.
For how long? He fell in love with a woman who didn't give up. Will he still love you when you're sitting at home with your knitting? You must do it.
I'd be taking such a terrible risk.
What else is life about? Otherwise, I will buy the company for you.
That would be embarrassing.
Of course. So, fight.
Ah, you're right. You do keep surprising me.
Were you taking off or putting on?
Depends what you're here for.
I'm obliged by law to tell you this, one way or another, within a certain time limit. So I thought I'd do it in person. I intend to try and buy back Harper Mining. Make it a private company again.
What? You'll need at least 51% even to start that process.
That's right. And that's exactly what I'm going for.
And you know what it's likely to cost you? Even if you succeed?
Of course.
No, even you haven't got that kind of money.
But I will have. After I've mortgaged everything I own.
Then everything is what you'll lose.
Then this time it really will be a fight to the death, won't it? For one of us.
Gotcha, Stephanie Harper.